home. My wife hasn't called.
I'm Kuntal Shaw. I'm here to take you home.
Tracker, part of CBS Premiere Week on CBS.
Big winds may impact your holiday weekend plans. I'll show you where those breezes are expected to be the strongest, plus your Labor Day forecast. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lily Simmons. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News.
On his third trip to Michigan in 9 days. I'm Sophia Murphy. I'll have more on that from Lansing.
And the latest on Marquette's fiscal future. We'll tell you why city officials say things are looking up for 2025. Plus, we'll tell you how the Dickinson County Fair kicked off today and show you the latest updates at the fairground. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
And Air has our first look at the weather tonight. What's up, Air?
Oh my goodness. Rain showers. We've got them headed our way coming from the west here. It's already starting to make ground there in Gogebic County. We'll see that later on this evening here in Marquette County. More likely, though, those early morning hours on our Friday. We've got hazardous outlook for the Great Lakes. So if you were planning to head that direction for your Labor Day weekend, you might want to head to an interior or inland lake. Breezy conditions really kicking off the party this evening. I'll go over how gusty we're going to be after the break.
Earlier today, former President Trump made his second stop in Michigan this week, continuing his focus on battleground states. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy was at the rally today and has more for us on Trump's remarks and what state Democrats are speaking out against him.
As candidates continue to focus on winning over those battleground states, former President Donald Trump is focusing on economics, inflation, and manufacturing with steelworkers in Potterville today.
Your long economic nightmare will very soon be over. It's going to be over.
In a new announcement, Trump says if elected, he'd like to focus on ensuring IVF treatments are covered entirely by insurance and allow parents to deduct major newborn expenses from their taxes. He talked about this as a part of his focus on families and lowering costs, particularly when it comes to energy.
My goal will be to cut your energy costs in half within 12 months after taking office, and we can do that.
He also touched on some regular talking points, discussing abortion and emphasizing the importance of securing the southern border. He says the Biden-Harris administration's push towards green energy has also played a part in rising costs, and that it's one of the first things he'll undo if elected.
End Kamala's war on American energy, terminate her Green New Scam, and drill, baby, drill.
Yesterday, Governor Gretchen Whitmer was joined by state Democrats in speaking out against the Project 2025 agenda. Whitmer said that while Trump was in office, he exported manufacturing jobs overseas, and that his plan would supercharge inflation and raise taxes for Michigan families by $3,900 a year.
Donald Trump doesn't get it. You know, his Project 2025 agenda would make life more expensive, give him unchecked access to whatever he wants at the expense of everyday Americans.
Still, Trump wrapped up his remarks by talking about lowering costs and his goals to keep manufacturing jobs based here in America. The campaign finished the day today in northern Wisconsin and will continue on to Pennsylvania tomorrow. In Potterville, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Also downstate tonight, Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff spoke to a crowd in support of his wife, Kamala Harris. Jessica Hawthorne has more from that event.
It is my true honor to introduce our second gentleman, Doug Emhoff.
An intimate setting for Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff today, speaking to supporters at Broadleaf Brewery and Spirits in Kentwood, Michigan. The brewery's owner, Chris Spalding, saying that he knows the importance of having women in leadership positions.
In November, when we elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, we'll move closer to a future where every family has the opportunity and the tools they need to succeed. And we can be proud to talk with our children about what the leaders in the White House represent.
Emhoff began by saying Harris being in the national spotlight hasn't changed who she is.
She's always been there for our family, always, through thick and thin, and now she's there for our country.
Emhoff focusing his message on the economy, saying small businesses are the lifeblood of communities, and Harris will crack down on companies that rip off consumers.
Kamala Harris, she's pro-capitalism, pro-business, pro-growth, and pro-innovation. She wants everyone to succeed in this economy.
Reproductive rights was also front and center. Emhoff saying there's a stark difference between the policies of Harris and former President Donald Trump.
You know, Donald Trump, I want to punish women. I want to appoint justices that will overturn Roe v. Wade. He did it. I don't care what he's trying to say now and get out of it. He did it. And J.D. Vance, no exceptions, even for rape or incest. These are the people that we're talking about here.
Supporting and honoring our nation's veterans, also a top priority for Harris, and a reason why she picked Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. Emhoff finishing his speech today, saying there's still much more work to be done, and we asked voters what they took away from the rally.
Well, I like how he honored women, especially, and very respectful.
I feel that the feeling in the room was of hope and progress and not wanting to go backwards.
And as the presidential race heats up, new polling suggests a toss-up between Trump and Harris. Many national and swing state polls are within the margin of error following major events like the Democratic National Convention and RFK's endorsement of Trump. A Hill and Emerson College poll shows Harris up 3 in Michigan, +1 in Nevada and in Georgia. The poll shows Trump ahead by 3 in Arizona and up 1 in North Carolina and Wisconsin. The poll sampled 950 voters in Pennsylvania, where both candidates are tied at 48%, with 3 undecided. Out of 800 Michigan voters polled, 44% cited the economy as their top issue. With the numbers being so close, independent voters in those swing states could determine the outcome of the presidential race. And developing now, the president of Ukraine is asking the U.S. and other partners to lift restrictions on long-range missiles to hit deep into Russia. The U.S. and other allies worry launching those weapons could further escalate the war. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp shares the latest on the war in Ukraine.
In early August, Ukraine launched a surprise incursion into the Kursk region of Russia, just over Ukraine's eastern borders. Ever since, Ukrainian forces have held their ground.
Продовжуємо збільшувати територію нашого контролю.
In a video briefing posted on social media, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says they continue to expand the territory under their control, but did not provide further details about the offensive. Other reporting states Russia's President Vladimir Putin is downplaying the Ukrainian incursion. Russia continues to attack Ukrainian cities. A recent attack killed 5 and left many more injured after a missile hit a hotel in a central Ukrainian city. In Zelensky's video briefing, he insists Ukraine's partners should lift restrictions on long-range strikes for Ukraine. Zelensky says it would help us bring this war to an end for Ukraine and the world as a whole. The U.S. and other Western allies have provided long-range weapons to Ukraine, but prohibit them from launching them deep into Russia, concerned it would escalate the war. In Washington, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
We have new details tonight on Marquette's fiscal future, and officials say things are looking up. Our John Truitt spoke with city leaders and has this report.
On August 22nd, the Marquette City Commission had their first reading of the proposed budget for fiscal year 2025. During that special meeting, members of the commission were given some good news, as this is the first year in 4 that a balanced budget has been submitted. Marquette City Manager Karen Kovacs says this budget is the result of a lot of hard work and a lot of hard choices.
I think the biggest takeaway, or I guess an announcement from that, was we are presenting a balanced budget, and that has been some major work in the process and over the years to get to that point.
The city has, in the past, used bonds as a way to fund essential projects, adding to a higher overall debt that the city was facing. A balanced budget is a step in the right direction.
In previous years, we had been issuing bonds in order to complete some projects. And we are trying to go to a model of paying down that debt and also starting to build up reserves and pay for those directly instead of having to bond, which right now is a little bit more costly to do.
Marquette's Downtown Development Authority will see this budget as a way to get more projects done.
It means that the city is able to start working on some of those deferred projects that they want to do, but they haven't really been able to do, so now they can start looking at those. And that's really good for us because a lot of those projects do affect us.
The Marquette City Commission will hold a public hearing on the budget on Monday, September 9th. The commission is expected to vote on the proposed budget following that hearing. In Marquette, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
Students at Escanaba Area Public Schools headed back to the classroom this week. Escanaba Junior and Senior High School has several new faculty and staff members, including a social worker, teachers, aides, and full-time substitutes. Also new this year is Principal Andy Dutry, who comes with more than 15 years of experience working in schools throughout the UP. Dutry says he's most excited to work with students as they pursue their goals.
To be productive members of society, so I want to make sure that this first year I can make the relationships with them, that they feel safe and they can open themselves up. I want to make sure this is a school where they can be themselves and they can become the best versions of themselves they want to be.
Escanaba Junior and Senior High School is looking for additional substitute teachers, and anyone interested can visit WZMQ19.com to learn more. And in higher education, the Biden administration is facing another setback in its bid to lower student loan debt. The Supreme Court has decided that, at least for now, the latest multi-billion-dollar plan cannot take effect. However, the Education Secretary told CBS Mornings that despite the rulings, the Biden administration has forgiven more than $170 billion for more than 5 million American borrowers, and the battle to keep going is not over.
The Supreme Court and lower courts also have rejected some of the plans, which we disagree with. But we're going to continue fighting for borrowers. There are millions of Americans right now that need a little bit of support. College debt shouldn't be a life sentence.
Critics, mostly on the Republican side, say any plan to forgive student loan debt is unfair to millions who repaid their loans and is simply transferring the debt to taxpayers. Still ahead tonight, the Dickinson County Fair is underway in Norway. We'll tell you how things got started and what's new at the fairgrounds this year.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture. A world at your fingertips gives you the advantage. Scan this right now. Weather, local news, community events, amazing video. It's cool. It's all yours. It's free. And it's on demand. Do it. Download the app from 19 News. Now you know.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget, we're our
Shop Kirkish Furniture Amish Furniture Sale now through September 7th. Find heirloom quality craftsmanship from trusted brands and save 40% on all in-stock and special order Amish furniture, plus free local delivery. The Amish Furniture Sale going on now in Houghton.
25 years of fun and you're invited. It's the silver anniversary of the Downtown Marquette Farmers Market. Come celebrate with us every Saturday morning at the Marquette Commons. From 9 to 1, you'll find a wide variety of local foods, produce, art, and so much more. Plus, the Wednesday night farmers market on the 100 block of West Washington Street is back from 5 to 8. For more information, visit mqtfarmersmarket.com. The Farmers Market is presented by the Marquette DDA and sponsored by Flagstar Bank and WZMQ 19.
This is home for CBS, WZMQ 19.
Now, award-winning WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with Air Stasic.
Holy shnikes, we're on the cusp of Labor Day weekend and September. My goodness, meteorological fall is upon us. That actually starts on September 1st. The rest of us will celebrate on the 22nd later on in the month. Here's what we're looking at. Very breezy conditions as we get into our evening. Friday as well. It's going to be gusty possibly on our Saturday and breezy again on Sunday. Hopefully that wind is supposed to calm down as is predicted for Monday, which is actual Labor Day. So it should be a fabulous day for activities, definitely on that day. We do have some chances of precipitation rolling in late on our Saturday evening. I'll show you when that party gets started, as well as some morning showers here for Friday morning. So let's take a look at those lows tonight. We'll be in that 60-degree range for the majority of the UP. Ironwood may be a little bit cooler than the rest of us. And then here in Marquette, we're going to be climbing up close to 70 degrees there by noon. Highs expected around the UP to be in the 70s. Let's break it down here. Again, we've got those chances of showers, possibly storms in the morning. Well, a lot of us will start with cloudy conditions and again, breezy conditions. Lance, your expected highs around 77, warmest for the western portion of the UP. Here in the central locations, Iron Mountain and Menominee, close to 80 degrees. Will be a little bit cooler here in Marquette, definitely cooler over in Munising. And as we make our way further to the east, don't worry, Newberry, I know there's some showers right there for that forecast, but that should be clearing out for y'all around 3 p.m. and we'll see those clouds decreasing as well. So I mentioned breezy conditions. Here's a look at those gusts that we're expecting. Houghton and definitely the Keweenaw Peninsula, especially Eagle Harbor. Look at that, almost 35-mile-an-hour gusts expected on Friday, and then we'll stick in that 30-mile-an-hour range for Saturday. Everyone else a little bit less, again, except if you are on that northwest coast or the Keweenaw Peninsula. Here's a look right now. We've got winds coming from the southeast. We're going to see that change of direction overnight into Friday. We'll have those westerly winds pushing in, and then again, a little bit of a change of direction here into our Saturday evening. Very gusty over on the west half there for the morning, afternoon, evening, and then late in the evening, the east side will see that action. And then as you can see, another change of direction coming from the northwest, which means we've got some cooler temperatures on the way on Sunday. Here's a look at the precipitation party overnight. 5 a.m., at least the central and western portions seeing some of that action, and then we'll clear out a little bit here on our Friday afternoon as well as Saturday. And then, like I mentioned, we do have some precipitation moving in late Saturday evening. Here it comes. Look at this line as it makes its way further east overnight. Your 7-day outlook for Marquette, that's in 15 minutes.
Thanks, Air. The Dickinson County Fair kicked off today with a lineup of nonstop events through Monday. In the hours before the fair opened to large crowds, staff were excited to welcome twice as many families for this year's Quiet Fair. The Quiet Fair was introduced last year as the Awesome Friends of the Fair. It creates an inclusive experience for children with sensory concerns by reducing lights, sounds, and the number of fairgoers. The response last year was overwhelmingly positive, and participation doubled this year thanks to local outreach efforts.
Contacted the ISD and asked them if there was any students there that would be interested, and their response was back. It came back, so they're quite interested, and they felt that next year would be much better yet.
The Fair Board president also announced a major upgrade to the blacktop this year, thanks to a grant the board applied for over the winter. He says the local company went above and beyond in delivering on their promise.
They did a fantastic job, and I've never worked with a company that was so enthused about doing something for a county fair like this. In fact, they purchased admissions for their whole entire company.
Fairgoers can watch performances by Rufus the Doofus and a lumberjack show from that new Midway. We'll have more details on fair activities at WZMQ19.com. When we return, Mike Ludlum is in the studio with sports. We'll be right back.
Riverside Chrysler wants to know, what drives you?
The pursuit of adventure.
The support of family, friends, and community.
The thrill of the open road.
I love all the power.
Get up to $10,935 off select new Ram heavy-duty trucks, or $2,000 bonus cash plus no payments for 90 days on new Pacificas.
Come on down to Riverside Chrysler of Escanaba.
See for yourself what drives us.
Abbott Week gets better and better. Lisa and Walter reveals Quinta's script secrets.
Cheryl doesn't read the script before our table read. She was like, and then Quinta. And Quinta was like,
Then a 17-year-old with a PhD. And Chef Kwame's in the kitchen.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
It's Diamond Days only at Richardson Jewelers, downtown Marquette. It's the perfect time to get her that diamond she's always dreamed of. Loose diamonds are 20 to 50% off. Engagement rings and wedding bands are up to 30% off. We have updated our showroom to give you the ultimate diamond and jewelry buying experience. Come see how diamond buying should be at the UP's engagement capital, exclusively at Richardson Jewelers in downtown Marquette.
Richardson Jewelers.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, nominated for 5 Emmys, including Outstanding Talk Series. Weeknights on CBS.
What's bothering Archie?
Politics. What the Supreme Court says ain't got nothing to do with the law. How to raise children. Get out of here!
Door tap.
Goldfish. Come on now, I draw the line on goldfish.
See what's bothering Archie on All in the Family.
Sundays from 8 to 10 on WZMQ Me TV. You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Good evening, everyone. Year 2 of the Shane Richardson era began tonight for the NMU football Wildcats. NMU entertained 17th-ranked Minnesota Duluth. And it was Duluth getting on the board early and often second quarter. Kyle Jasper, 7 yards to Daniel Mitchell. The 2-point conversion was good. That made it 21-0, and that was Jasper's third TD pass the first half. Next drive, Jasper looking deep. Chuck Gilbert III makes the catch, and that's down to the 10-yard line, a 51-yard gain. A short time later, Mr. Jasper will make it a 4th touchdown, a bubble screen to Sam Pitts. He scores from 10 yards, 28-0 Minnesota Duluth at the half. Third quarter, different quarterback, same result for UMD. Jacob Eggert will have time to throw, and he's going to connect with Chuck Gilbert III. Missed tackle on the sideline, and that's trouble. Gilbert finishes the 56-yard touchdown. The Bulldogs are ahead 35-0. On the ensuing kickoff, things went well for NMU. Michael Love grabbed the ball at the 15-yard line, got 3 good blocks on the Wildcat side of the field, returned the ball to nearly midfield. Love caught a touchdown pass from Aiden Horde in the 4th quarter, but 17th-ranked Minnesota Duluth starts the campaign with a 35-7 victory over the Wildcats. The Bulldogs outgained NMU 562 yards to 112. Next Thursday, NMU visits Kentucky Wesleyan. To the scoreboard, where Michigan Tech came close but not quite. Bo Schwartz kicked the field goal to force overtime for the Huskies, but Bemidji State scored on a pass to Edge Tech, 19-13 in overtime. Mark Sipple led Tech with 13 tackles. Iron Mountain's Dante Bassanese had 12 tackles. Darius Willis caught 10 passes for 113 yards. Lake Linden Hubble's Gabe Popko had 5 grabs for 29 yards. North Central's Luke Gorzinski had 2 catches for 13 yards, but the Huskies are 0-1. Oh, by the way, Central Michigan had way too much fun with Central Connecticut State. No, that's not a misprint. That would be 66-10. Well, let's go to high school football, and we'll go right to just down the road a piece where the Marquette Sentinels were entertaining Gladstone. Gladstone has won the past 2 matchups, 36-7 a year ago, and that is an interception by Owen Giroux as he stepped in front of the pass first quarter to stop a Marquette drive, but Gladstone had to punt. Second quarter, Sentinels completed a drive that lasted more than 7 minutes. Richardson to Jacob McPhee, and he's going to stretch across the goal line for an 8-yard touchdown. Extra point was good, 7-0 Marquette. Next Sentinel drive, Ford Richardson fakes to Drew Bradley, and once we figured that out, we caught up quickly. Richardson takes off on a great circle route downfield, cutting back at the 30-yard line right there. Officially, by all time is said and done, a 66-yard touchdown run. I'll let someone else figure out how far he really ran. Extra point was missed, 13-0 Marquette. Gladstone tries again. The handoff goes to Evan Wolfer, but Marquette's Chase Nemi forces the fumble. Noah Wattier recovers, and that would get Marquette going once again. Richardson will have time to throw, and that would lead to a Jacob Norman touchdown. This touchdown goes to Kyler Sager behind the secondary to make it 28-0, and Marquette cruised to the victory by the count of 55-0. On the scoreboard, Kingsford blanks Escanaba 21-0. Elsewhere, Iron Mountain, in what's going to be the final season for Coach Robin Martela, Mountaineers hold off Houghton 26-16. Good news, West Iron County is back on the field. Bad news, they were playing Calumet tonight, and the Copper Kings won 50-0. Elsewhere, it was a touchdown pass with not a whole lot of time left in this one, and Hancock defeated Lance 6-0. Westwood gets its first victory for Coach Tyler Thomas, 36-12 over Bark River Harris. East Jordan all over Manistee, 48-6, and the Model Towners make a 6-hour bus trip and beat Bridgeport 14-6. Gwynn visits Manistee next week. Let us go to Negaunee, where the Negaunee Miners were taking on the Kewanee Storm. Yeah, I don't know how we planned that one either. Early on, after a touchdown, Hank Tanknell will get plenty of room, and he will bring that one down near the Kewanee Storm 20-yard line. Weston Yesney scored the first touchdown. Tyler Jacobson with the fake, and he will throw to Carson Belanger to make it 14-0, and that would be the score after the first quarter. Weston Yesney was able to punch in a run at the end of the first half. 2-point conversion was 22-0. Then in the third, Ty Jacobson to Brady Mager, and that's over 40 yards. 2-point can't is no good, 28-0. Jackson Wisnicki was able to run it in for the Storm with just over 2 minutes left, but a Negaunee victory of 28-7, so the Miners are off to a good start. Elsewhere, we have either close games or not so close games. Ludington ripped Alpena 67-0. Midland, 1 touchdown's enough to defeat Cadillac 7-0. And it was Traverse City West sneaking past Gaylord. That one was 6-0. 8-player football, Ishpeming's debut, very good. The Hematites defeat Florence 34-12. It was Cedarville Detour all over Mid-Peninsula. That was 64-6. Lakeland and Hubble falling short to Hurley 36-20. Munising over Ironwood 48-14. It was Pickford 40, North Central 12. Gaylord St. Mary blanks Rudyard 8-0. Brimley wins 26-0 over St. Ignace, and Rapid Rivers in the win column 36-14 over Engadine. Volleyball scores, Wakefield Marinesco defeated Baraga 3-1. We did not hear from Gladstone and Menominee. Also, Houghton 3, Gwynn 0. West Iron County over Ishpeming 3-1. Was Lakeland and Hubble 3 and Chassel 0. And Marquette defeated Sioux 3-0 as well. Boys soccer, Marquette all over the Sioux 8-0. It was Kingsford downing Wrightstown 5-1. And Kingsford defeated 3 Lakes, Wisconsin yesterday 6-1. And Iron Mountain over Peshtigo by the count of 4-0. Quickly, let's go to tennis. A 4-team invite today for the Westwood Invitational. In the far court is Negaunee's Lily Saunders at second singles. She will get the point here against Menominee's Mackenzie Doyle. And Saunders ended up being the champion at second singles. In fact, it was a pretty close match. Negaunee won 5 flights and had 29 points. Westwood was second with 27, winning the other 3 flights. Marquette was third, and Menominee was fourth. Brewers over the Giants today, 6-0. Tigers lose to the Angels, 3-0, snapping that 6-game winning streak, and we will be right back.
Some places talk about being local, but we actually are local. Our family started Superior Collision 18 years ago, and we're still the ones who own and operate it today. No big company name, no outside investors. We are all Marquette, and we're going to stay that way. We are part of this community, and we are proud of the work we do. You can choose to go to a corporate body shop, or you can stay local and go to Superior Collision, Marquette's local hometown body shop.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, nominated for 5 Emmys, including Outstanding Talk Series. Weeknights on CBS.
25 years of fun, and you're invited. It's the silver anniversary of the Downtown Marquette Farmers Market. Come celebrate with us every Saturday morning at the Marquette Commons. From 9 to 1, you'll find a wide variety of local foods, produce, art, and so much more. Plus, the Wednesday night Farmers Market on the 100 block of West Washington Street is back from 5 to 8. For more information, visit mqtfarmersmarket.com. The Farmers Market is presented by the Marquette TDA and sponsored by Flagstar Bank and WZMQ 19.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands with a hotel for any traveler you want to be. Like Quality Inn for the dad that gets every dollar and minute out of this family road trip.
The day is upon us.
Stay twice and get a $50 gift card when you book direct.
With Reynolds Wrap, cooking becomes so easy, you can feel like the chef of your kitchen. Easy prep, easy cook, easy clean. Reynolds Wrap.
Mike Baxter, Pioneer.
Dad, how do you kill an elk?
Wait outside the lodge until last call, then hit it with a tire iron. And Legend. I have a 60-year-old truck and a 30-year-old marriage. You should be happy that I am stuck in my old ways.
I do love that truck.
No wonder he's the last man standing.
Lows tonight in the 60s. We've got late showers rolling in as well as chances of thunderstorms and then breezy conditions. So expect those roadways to be wet for your commute. And speaking of wet, Great Lakes outlook for this weekend, very big hazardous threats elevated even into significant threats as we get further into the weekend, especially on Sunday. Stay off of Superior, stay off of Michigan. Just go to an inside lake, an interior lake, or a river. And then we've got the 20th anniversary, the last Blues Fest here in Marquette at the Lower Harbor. We're seeing some humid conditions on our Friday and Saturday. At the time when those concerts start, we're looking at 75 on Friday, 77 at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and a little bit cooler on our Sunday. Here's a quick look at the humidity we're expecting. We'll drop back down next week. 7-day outlook for Marquette. We're cooling down on Sunday.
Thanks, Air. Finally tonight, after more than a decade apart, a South Carolina woman was reunited with her long-lost furry friend. This footage shows Jennifer Ravenel seeing her cat Sam 11 years after he went missing. She adopted him in 2011 and he disappeared 2 years later. The Charleston Animal Society says their emotional reunion was only possible thanks to Sam's microchip. And ever since they've been reunited, he hasn't been wanting to go outside and said he's been content at the foot of her bed.
And you have a cat, right?
I do.
Would you lose your mind if your cat disappeared?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's microchipped, so I think we're good to go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? Do you have cats?
Yes, one cat, one dog, and they do what they want because they're old enough at this point. I don't have a whole lot of control over that.
That's how I roll too.
We know who's in charge. It's not us.
All right. Thank you so much.
Riverside knows it's more than just a car.
It's watching your kids grow up. Bye, Mom. It's Girls' Day.
It's priceless weekends of happy campers.
And Riverside is more than just a car dealership.
We're your trusted certified service center,
providing you with peace of mind with reliable and safe transportation.
It's not just a car. It's